Secret 5, make silence in space. Satan uses 3 tactics to take us down from achieving our identity, which will help us achieve our destiny. He uses intimidation, distraction, and temptation. Intimidation, distraction, and temptation. We overcome intimidation by entering the silence and hearing the Father's voice. The devil intimidates us, telling us that we're no good, that God doesn't love us, that we're not chosen by the Father. And so we need to carve out time and space to hear God. When I was 8 years old, I was playing baseball in my backyard, and we lived on a 4-lane highway. And I hit the ball across the street, so I went chasing after it. 2 steps in the road, automobile operated by a drunk driver hit me, punted me off, going 40 miles an hour, punted me off the side of the road. Next thing I know, when I awoke, my whole world was being jostled. I couldn't tell what was going on, but I heard something I never heard before in my entire life. I heard this paced, anxious breathing of a man who loved me, a father who wanted me to not only exist, but to live. My dad was carrying me, hoping my life would be saved. I think that if we stop the train, if we stop the train of work, if we stop the train of, emails, if we stop the train and we get off the train for just a little bit and enter the silence, we will hear the breath of the Father telling us that He doesn't want us only to exist, He wants us to truly live and to bring Him glory and experience His glory in our lives. So to know God's mission and vision and plan for our lives, we need to know God. And to know God, we need to speak His language. And as St. John of the Cross says, God's first language is silence. So we need to enter the silence. But this is so hard for men, isn't it? So we need to set up pillars in our day. Maybe it's just 3, morning, noon, and night. But here's the key. When you enter prayer, just don't try to get through it. Take a little scripture, something short, Jesus' words, or maybe a decade of the rosary, and meditate on it, and then just let it launch you into conversation with God, talk to Him, and then just be silent. And let Him infuse Himself into you. Let the Father infuse His fatherhood into you. St. Joseph was a man who took his crises to the Lord in prayer. In fact, the scriptures don't even record one word of his in any of his prayers. He just presented them to God in silence. He carved out that space to let God work. And guess what? Joseph's interior life gave his exterior life form. Our interior life gives our exterior life form. It's not the other way around. We can look all great on the outside, but if we don't have the interior life, our exterior life is going to fail eventually. So, we've got to carve out time and space for God because we cannot give what we don't have.